Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu, mashallah.
Are you in Birmingham or are you somewhere else?
No, I'm in Birmingham. I've been in Birmingham here for the last 6 weeks, alhamdulillah.
Oh, you haven't been to London, so you're locked down.
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum, Brother Arif.
Wa alaikum salam.
Hello, alhamdulillah. We might be joined by another person, so we'll hope that he will be with us in a minute.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. I will share the Brother Ahmad Riza. Assalamu alaikum. Yeah, probably Brother Saeed will join as well. We reached on Friday, we reached the number 42. And it's saying here, وَنُدِينُ بِأَنَّ اللَّهَ يُرَى فِي الْآخِرَةِ بِالْأَبْصَارِ, that we believe in the day of judgment, in the next life, we will see Allah Azza wa Jal with our eyes. As the moon is seen on the night in the middle of the month, and the believers will see Him. And the Prophet ﷺ did mention that you will see your Allah Azza wa Jal in the day of judgment as you see the sun and the moon in heaven, and you have no doubt He is your Lord. So seeing Allah Azza wa Jal will be in the hereafter. Now, what we see from Allah Azza wa Jal, only Allah knows, because Allah Azza wa Jal is not confined to a space. You can't put Him in a space and say, I saw the person. Allah Azza wa Jal is not confined to a space. Otherwise, the space He created or the place He created will be bigger than Allah. So Allah created the place, and then you have a place from A to B. Without Allah creating a place, you don't know where are you. Imagine there is no universe at all. You can't say whether you are living within a square yard or not. So what we see of Allah Azza wa Jal, only Allah knows about it. The Kafirin will never see Allah Azza wa Jal. إِنَّهُمْ عَنْ رَبِّهِمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ لَمَحْجُوبُونَ. Allah said in the Quran that they will never see Allah Azza wa Jal the day of judgment. So Allah said about the kuffar, كَلَّا إِنَّهُمْ عَنْ رَبِّهِمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ لَمَحْجُوبُونَ. No, they will be from their Lord on that day kept away, and there will be barrier between them. They wouldn't see. There will be hijab, that keeping them unable to see Allah Azza wa Jal. They will not have that privilege. And Musa, we believe, as in our Aqeedah in Islam, that Musa asked Allah Azza wa Jal to see him. قَالَ رَبِّ أَرِنِي أَنظُرُ إِلَيْكَ. He said to him, oh my Lord, make me able to see you. So, أَرِنِي أَنظُرُ إِلَيْكَ, make me able to see you. Because Musa acknowledged he can't see Allah Azza wa Jal unless Allah Azza wa Jal allows him to see him. So he requested permission to see Allah, and Allah Azza wa Jal didn't say you will not see me. He said to him, look at the mountain. If the mountain stays where it is, you will see me. The mountain, فَلَمَّا تَجَلَّى رَبُّهُ لِلْجَبَلِ جَعَلَهُ دَكَّةً. When Allah Azza wa Jal made his presence felt by the mountain disappeared, vanished, disappeared, and Musa fainted. So our teachers say, should the mountain stay where it was, Musa would have seen Allah. So Allah Azza wa Jal لا تدركه الأبصار, unless He allow absar to see Him. So the day of judgment will see Him. So فأعلم بذلك موسى أنه لا يراه في الدنيا. He will not see Allah Azza wa Jal in this life. But the fact that he collapsed صاعق might save him the collapse or the shock the day of judgment. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, on the day of judgment, I will be the first to be brought back to life but I will see Musa getting hold of the throne. And then he said, I don't know whether he was brought back to life before me or whether the shock he had in this life was counted so he wouldn't have a shock next life. So Musa had the shock when he was asked to look at the mountain to see Allah Azza wa Jal, and that probably stopped him being shocked on the day of judgment. Because وَنُفِخَ فِي الصُّورِ فَصَعِقَ مَنْ فِي السَّمَاوَاتِ وَمَنْ فِي الْأَرْضِ. When the trumpet will be blown, every creature will be shocked in heavens and earth. Every living creature will be shocked. All the angels will die, and including the last one will be Israel. Allah will ask him to take his own soul and he will die. And then Allah will bring everybody back to life again. Number 43, وَنُدِينُ بِأَنَّ لَا نُكَفِّرَ أَحَدٍ مِنْ أَهْلِ الْقِبْلَةِ بِذَنْبٍ يَرْتَكِبُهُ. We don't say about anyone who is facing our Qibla that he is kafir by any sin he commits. The only sin will make the person kafir is associating partner with Allah or denying Allah exists. Or denying, obviously, what's known to be part of the belief in Allah Azza wa Jal, like the Quran is the words of Allah Azza wa Jal, or the farad from Allah. But we don't make him kafir by the fact that he committed adultery, or he stole something, or he drank alcohol. So we don't make people kafir unless they commit an act which take him outside Islam. So if he kills somebody, he doesn't become kafir. Brother Ahmad.
I was going to say, so if the angels get destroyed, this sounds like a really childish question. If the angels are destroyed, who's going to manage all these things on the day of judgment then? Who's going to help Allah who doesn't need any helper? So we believe angels.
Allah doesn't need help. Allah Azza wa Jal make people do things. Like we said last week, وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَكُمْ وَمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. Allah created us and the action we do. The fact that I can raise my hand, it's a permission from Allah and an ability put in me from Allah Azza wa Jal. So He created the ability to raise the arm, but He didn't create the ability that I fly in heaven. He created the ability I see from my eyes, by my eyes in front of me. But I can't see behind me. I wasn't given that ability. So everything is created by Allah and everything is done by Allah. So no one is helping Allah Azza wa Jal, but Allah Azza wa Jal created the creation to know Him and praise Him. And also that man will be brought to the day of judgment. Will be day of judgment, somebody will lead each one of us, an angel, and an angel will be witness. He saw us doing things. Because man's habit to deny, I haven't done it. And the angels will write in the books and they will come. They are witness and they have the book. And Allah will show the people. So it's a matter of showing you what you could deny. Like if the classroom, there's a teacher in the classroom, over the year teaching the student, he will know who deserve to pass the test and go to next class and who deserve to fail. He knows. He didn't learn and he's struggling with this, struggling with that. But the teacher still do the exam to prove to him. So he gives the same questions to all the students and say, here you are, answer. So those who are actually learned and he expect them to pass, they usually pass. Those who he thought they will never pass, they won't pass. But he wants to prove it to them, here you are, this is the test. And you fail. So Allah Azza wa Jalla knows they have no chance to go to paradise, they will definitely go to hell. And he knew that when he created them, because he knew what they will do, knowing the future, being across the time. But he brings the angels to be witness against them. But Allah Azza wa Jal, in the day of judgment, He will recreate the creation with a different physical, biological law. So the day of judgment, Allah will create the creation. Allah Azza wa Jal said, يَوْمَ تُبَدَّلُ الْأَرْضُ غَيْرَ الْأَرْضِ وَالسَّمَاوَاتِ. When the earth will be changed to a different earth and the heavens. And the day of judgment, Allah Azza wa Jal said on that next life, لا يذوقون فيها شمسا ولا زمهريرا. There will be no suns next life. وأشرقت الأرض بنور ربها. The earth, obviously the land of paradise, will be lit by the light of Allah Azza wa Jal, directly from Allah. So you don't have suns to die. This is why it's eternal life. In this life, even if there is no day of judgment, after 5 billion years, the sun will run out of heat. After 12 billion years, with the calculation that astronomers did, there will be not a single sun in the universe. If you live to that time, you will see nothing at all in the universe. So next life, Allah will create things to last forever and no suns. So from all the hadith and ayah, it seems Allah Azza wa Jal will get rid of all the creation He created, apart from the souls of the people He wants to stay, and the angels, and then He will recreate everything again. And then the last one to die will be Azrael. He will ask him to take the soul of Jibreel and Mikael and Israfil, and then He will say, take your own soul. And then Allah Azza wa Jal will say, لِمَنِ الْمُلْكُ الْيَوْمِ, and nobody will answer, and Allah Azza wa Jal will answer Himself, لِلَّهِ الْوَاحِدِ الْقَهَّارِ, and then Allah recreate. So this is the sequence. There will be a time where there will be nothing at all. So it will be the souls Allah created who will be different than the creation, the rest of the creation. Allah will bring every soul, will create a body for it. And Allah said in Surah Al-Takwir, وَإِذَا النُّفُوسُ زُوِّجَتْ, when the soul will be united with the body He created, the body will be eternal body. He will live eternal life. This is why we say to people who donate kidneys and livers and things, you don't need them in the day of judgment. It will be a different body. It will not rely, you will not rely on kidneys to push toxins out. You don't need liver to break down the toxins and things. You don't need bone marrow to form blood. So your body will be eternal. There's nothing, no blood cell will die and things. So you don't digest the food. You eat the food, you enjoy it, but it's not digested. You don't go to the loo. So it's completely new creation. So kaba'ir, the big sins will not take a Muslim out of Islam. He will not become kafir unless he make it halal. If he make it halal, then he's kafir, because he's making the haram halal. He's opposing Allah Azza wa Jal. Allah Azza wa Jal said, اتخذوا أحبارهم ورهبانهم أربابا من دون الله والمسيح ابن مريم. The Christian took Jesus and themselves as gods instead of Allah. And Salman al-Farisi said to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, I lived with the priests and they were not saying they are gods. And Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said to him, didn't they make the halal haram? He said, yes. He said, didn't they make the haram halal? He said, yes. He said that they are making themselves God. They're putting themselves in the job of God to say which is halal, which is haram. So this is why he's saying here, anyone who make the halal haram and the haram halal, he's kafir, because he is objecting the law of Allah Azza wa Jal, and in fact saying Allah doesn't know what He's talking about. Allah is not the Most Eyes, and He knows better than Allah. So if Allah said stealing haram, no one can say halal, because Allah said haram, it's haram. If somebody say no, it is halal, then he's objecting Allah Azza wa Jal, and if he's a Muslim, he will be no longer a Muslim. If he say zina, adultery halal, fornication halal, he's taking himself outside Islam. If he knows what he's talking about, you need to remind him, be careful, what you're saying will take you out of Islam. If you say, oh, I don't care, whatever, he's out of Islam. But if he say, no, I didn't know that, then he will remain. So this is what he's saying in 43. ونقول إن الإسلام أوسع من الإيمان وليس كل إسلام إيمان. Submitting to the law of Allah Azza wa Jal, submitting to Allah Azza wa Jal is wider, he's saying here, than Iman, believing in Allah. Submitting, people might have less feeling in Allah, of Allah Azza wa Jal, that He's around them, He's observing them, He's in charge of things. They have less feeling that Allah exists, but they have to commit to the law of Allah. That he has to pray even if he doesn't feel Allah exists. Because one of the brothers who probably you know, I won't mention his name, he said to me, he prays, but he doesn't feel that he is truly believing in Allah. What will be your answer to him? His belief in Allah is very weak. When he prays, he doesn't feel like he's, getting there. What will be the answer?
I think he should continue to ask for guidance in his salah. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم. And he should continuously do this and then do dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give him more yaqeen than he currently has.
Yaqeen is the right word, but it's in an ayah. Do you remember the ayah before I bring it to you? I'll give you a chocolate if you know. No, I'll share the view. I've got it now. I'll just share the, where is it now? Share screen. Yeah, it's here. Allah Azza wa Jal said, can you see it? وَعْبُدْ رَبَّكَ حَتَّى يَأْتِيَكَ الْيَقِينَ. Carry on worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal, so certainty will come to you. Now, yaqeen, some scholars say the Day of Judgment, but majority of the scholars say you carry on worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal for the sake of getting yaqeen. If you want yaqeen, you need to carry on worshipping Allah.
Yeah.
So
right.
worshipping Allah starts before yaqeen and has to carry on before yaqeen. So this is what he's saying here in the Aqeedah, that Islam is wider than Iman, because you start with Islam, you submit to Allah Azza wa Jal, you avoid the haram, and you do the halal, and you do the farad for the sake of getting yaqeen. Although you still have that strong Iman, but you do it. By the fact that you carry on doing it, you get yaqeen. This is why people worship Allah for 10, 20, 30, 40 years. They go to Hajj, they come back different people. Like Allah Azza wa Jal top it up with extreme yaqeen and Iman, and then they will be they will be there. Like now, the levels, obviously, the starting level is Islam. The next level Iman, the next level Ihsan, to worship Allah as if you see Him. But you can't be a Muslim dropping Salah or dropping fasting or dropping Zakah and you say I'm Mu'min. Because Islam is wide. There's a lot of rules in Islam, a lot of obligations, a lot of expectations to be done. And then you move to the next level. So Islam is wider than Iman. Iman, believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, doesn't take much of effort. You believe in your heart. You believe in the engines in your heart. You believe in the books, in the Day of Judgment, in the messengers. But Islam, you have to practice. You have to get the money out of your pocket and pay zakah. You have to go 5 times a day to pray. You have to fast the whole month of Ramadan. So that's what he's saying here. And that's how we believe. This is our Aqeedah. And وَلَيْسَ كُلُّ إِسْلَامٍ إِيمَانًا. You can't claim you are mu'min if you are Muslim. Iman comes from Allah Azza wa Jal, from up down. Islam go from down up to Allah. قالت الأعراب آمنا قل لم تؤمنوا لكن قولوا أسلمنا ولما يدخل الإيمان في قلوبكم وإن تطيعوا الله ورسوله لا يلدكم من أعمالكم شيئا. This ayah in Surah Hujurat, that the Bedouin Arab said that we are believers. Allah said, no, you're not believers yet, you are Muslims. Say, we submitted to Allah. We put our application to Allah. When Allah Azza wa Jal put the Iman in your heart, and you obey Allah and His Messenger, Allah will never let you down. He will never, He will reward you for all what you do. So that's number 43. 44, do you have any question for 43 or shall we move on?
No, that's fine.
I was going to say that brother should attend your lectures on Friday evenings as well.
Which you mean in the one I'm talking about, that he alhamdulillah, he's very good now. He said this to me around 5 years ago.
Oh, okay,
I said to him, you need to carry on worshipping to get the yaqeen. Not like you worship your God to die. Hatta in Arabic has a lot of meaning. There's somebody had PhD on hatta. The letter hatta, it's like a proposition. Hatta has so many meanings. Like this is the fish. I ate the fish hatta ra'siha, till I reached the head, then I stopped. Or I ate the fish including the head. And I ate the fish until I reached the head, because it has many meanings, hatta. So when they translate the Quran, the difficulty they have is they can't put the 10 meanings, otherwise it become 30, 40 volumes, the Quran. So they have to condense it in one book, but they neglect a lot of important meanings sometimes. And sometimes one meaning could mislead by itself. You need to know all the meanings to encompass the things, to know exactly what Allah meant. And this is one of the ayah. وَعَبُدْ رَبَّكَ, worship your Lord until certainty comes to you. It's not when the certainty comes to you, you stop. And that's what some Sufis did. This is why they say Sufis are not Muslims. Sufis, not all of them. Some of them, they think that they worshipped Allah. Now they reach the yaqeen, they don't need to worship anymore. They stop praying, they stop fasting. They get back into square one. They get themselves in trouble because of this ayah. They misunderstood it. It's not until and you stop. No. Here, for the sake of yaqeen, you carry on worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal. And another meaning, you worship Allah Azza wa Jal until you die, because there's no worship after death. In Jannah, there's no worship. In Jannah, there's no ibadah. You just enjoy yourself, because you automatically breathe. You say Subhanallah, Alhamdulillah, by nature, like breathing in this life. In the next life, we will be praising Allah automatically, like the angels, like the creation, actually, all the jibal and mountains, they all praise Allah automatically. So we will in Jannah. Right, number 44, وَنُدِينُ Allah Azza wa Jal بأنه يقلب القلوب بين إصبعين من أصابعه. That Allah Azza wa Jal changed the heart in between two fingers of His fingers. Again, now, like we said last week, that we don't give any image to a finger of Allah Azza wa Jal, and we leave the meaning to Allah. Tafweed, we leave the meaning to Allah. We are not supposed to imagine fingers of Allah Azza wa Jal. But the Prophet ﷺ said that the heart in between two fingers of Allah Azza wa Jal, and He moves it as He likes. So someday you find yourself close to Allah Azza wa Jal, very happy with your belief, very contented, and someday you see yourself strange. You're really strange, and what's happening to me, and why I'm not doing this, not doing that. You know that it's in the hand of Allah Azza wa Jal. Ask Him to switch you. So He will switch you to the belief. So, and that's the feeling in the hand of Allah Azza wa Jal. وأنه سبحانه يضع السماوات على إصبع وَالْأَرْضِينَ عَلَى إِصْبَعٍ. That's all between his fingers. Oh, the day and the night, he said also. He changes the day and the night. كما جاءت في رواية النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. بلا من غير تكييف, without saying how. Allah knows what he's talking about. So how is it? يقلب الليل والنهار. There's one hadith that's بيدي الليل والنهار أقلبها كيف يشاء. In my hand is the day and the night. I change it as I like. So this is what we believe, that's all within his grasp, in a meaning, in the grasp of Allah Azza wa Jal. So our hearts in between his fingers, the whole earth and the heavens in his grasp. Allah Azza wa Jal said in the Quran, وَالْأَرْضُ وَمَا قَدَرُ اللَّهَ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ وَالْأَرْضُ حَقَّ قَدْرِهِ وَالْأَرْضُ جَمِيعًا قَبْضَتُهُ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ وَالسَّمَاوَاتُ مَطْوِيَّاتٌ بِيَمِينِهِ. They haven't measured Allah as he deserves to be measured, and the whole earth in his hand, the day of judgment, means like under his control, his power. And the samawat matwiyatun, the whole heavens will be rolled by his right arm. So this is the power of Allah Azza wa Jalla is unlimited. So all what you see, this massive universe, is just a piece of cake for Allah Azza wa Jalla. Just, he flip it like he likes. So this is 44. Any question on 44? Right. 45. وندين بأن لا ننزل أحدا من أهل التوحيد والمتمسكين بالإيمان جنة ولا نار. We don't ourselves, we don't have any right or any knowledge or any ability to say that this Muslim who is muwahid, monotheistic believer, he's devoted to Islam, he is definitely going to Jannah or Jahannam. We don't judge people. We don't say to A, B, or C, A, B will go to Jannah, C and D will go to Jahannam. We refrain from giving a final destination to any person on earth, which is extremely important. When I came to this country, I came from Syria and I worked in Saudi for 4 years. Automatically, we prejudge people. And my staff, my team used to stop me. When I try to prejudge a patient, they straight away, we don't prejudge people. They, we don't say they are good or bad or whatever. He has a problem, we solve his problem, but we don't judge him. Oh, he's evil, he's this. We Muslims like to, oh, he's going to hellfire, he's definitely kafir. Especially if you go to political Muslims, those who are who form political parties like Muslim Brotherhood and Hizb al-Tahrir and Shia do the same, and many other subgroups, they give judgment to people. And he's saying here, no, we are not allowed to give anyone, like when the Prophet ﷺ at the beginning, when in Badr, when one of the Sahaba died, his mother said, هنيئا له الجنة. He should be pleased that he's going to Jannah. And the Prophet Muhammad turned back to her and said, how do you know? How do you know? Even I don't know what Allah will do with me. Obviously, Allah told me he will do this and this, but I wouldn't know until I'm there. So how do you know? So Sahaba stopped short from saying this one will go to Jannah or this one will go to Jannah. The Prophet was told on many occasions, he said, Abu Bakr in Jannah, Umar in Jannah, Uthman in Jannah. He saw a man, he said, this man will go to hellfire, this man will go to hellfire. But Allah made him aware of it. Abdullah ibn Umar, he said, he told about one man he will go to Jahannam. And when I followed him and I looked into what he's doing fine. He's praying with us, fasting with us, even go to jihad with us. And he said, and it wasn't until the time of Umar when we were on a mission, and he was injured and he couldn't stand the pain, and he put the sword against his heart and he jumped on it and he killed himself. He said, I knew at that time what the Prophet ﷺ said. But we are not prophets, so we don't. Unless the Prophet ﷺ told us, إِلَّا مَنْ شَهِدَ لَهُ رَسُولُ اللَّهِ. If the Prophet ﷺ said he will go to Jannah, then we know. Allah has restricted the Quran to 5 people he named they will go to Jahannam. Fir'aun, Haman, Qarun, Abu Lahab, and by narration الوليد بن المغيرة إنه فكر فقدر كيف قتل فكر ثم قدر كيف فكر in Surah Al-Muddathir. That سنصليه سقر, Allah said, and that's by narration. Sorry, and the wife of Abu Lahab as well. So we have 10 minutes left. Carry this point here. وَنَرْجُو الْجَنَّةَ لِلْمُذْنِبِينَ. We hope that those who commit sin, they go to Jannah. I remember we were in one of the interfaith meeting and my son Marwan was talking about Jannah. And then he said a phrase, everybody was happy. He said, and I hope all of us sitting here will go to Jannah. And half of us were Christian. Half of them were Christian. They were so delighted that he's hoping that all of them will repent and go to Jannah. So even if he's a Muslim, some people just say, oh, he's going to hell. How do you know? No, hope that he will go to paradise. And tell him, I hope you will be in paradise. And I hope you stop doing what you're doing. And we should be afraid. Sorry.
These Christians are also part of Millah Ibrahim, aren't they?
No, what he was wishing them that they go to Jannah. Obviously, they will not go to Jannah unless they believe La ilaha illallah. They have to believe La ilaha illallah.
Yeah,
and
but the Quran doesn't.
They have to believe Muhammad Rasulullah as well.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So, and in the Surah Al-Imran, وَمَنْ يَبْتَغِي غَيْرَ الْإِسْلَامِ دِينًا فَلَنْ يُقْبَلَ مِنْهُ وَهُوَ فِي الْآخِرَةِ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. Whoever takes religion other than Islam will not be accepted from him. Knowing that, but we wish. He said, I hope all of us will go to Jannah. So he's not brushing them off. So we didn't say, we don't know when they will die, what they will die. We don't know next day what they will be. Next week they might change their mind. Next month they might become believers in La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Many people believe La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, but they didn't tell us because they don't want to announce they are Muslims. I met a few like this in hiding in a way. So when akhafu an yakunu, and we don't like them to go to hellfire. May Allah Azza wa Jalla save us from it. And we hope that even the Muslims who commit sins, that they will be included in the shafa'ah, in the intercession of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we hope that they will be included. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Wajibat shafa'ati li ahli al-kaba'ir min ummati." My shafa'ah, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam will not come and ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to forgive you because you looked at the next door neighbor lady, or because you smacked somebody on the face or something. He will intercede for you if somebody killed somebody, if somebody committed adultery, if somebody stole one of these 21 big sins, the Prophet ﷺ will be interceding for you. But the small sins, Allah Azza wa Jalla said, when you do something good, إذا فعلوا فاحشة أو ظلموا أنفسهم ذكروا الله فاستغفروا لذنوبهم من يغفر الذنوب إلا الله. When you do something indecent or bad or something, you ask Allah to forgive you, and Allah will forgive you. And Allah forgive what you do between the two salah, and between the two Jumu'ah, and between the two Ramadans. So there is time, you get erased, the sins will get erased. And somebody came to Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and he complained that he kissed a lady. And the Prophet ﷺ said, did you pray with us? He said, yes. He said, that's for that. Erase that. So don't worry, just leave it behind you. Move on. So this is what we believe in our Aqeedah, that we don't bless people in hell or paradise. We don't know whether they will go to Jannah or Jahannam either. And we hope that the believers will go to Jannah. We hope that we don't go to hellfire, but we accept all those who the Prophet ﷺ said they will go to Jannah. It's like Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Abdul Rahman ibn Auf, Abu Ubaidah ibn Jarrah, Sa'id ibn Abi Waqqas, Sa'id ibn al-As, 10 of them. Apart from Ali ibn Abi Talib, the 9, the Shia said they are Kafirin. Although the Prophet said they will go to Jannah. But they dropped, who said that the hadith? They dropped the hadith. So they dropped 98 of the hadith. They don't take them. Because they're not narrated by Ali ibn Abi Talib, not narrated by Abu Musa al-Ash'ari, not narrated by Abdullah ibn Abbas. So this is obviously they put people in hellfire, which is against the Aqeedah. So against the Aqeedah, you put one in hellfire and you're not God. And the Prophet ﷺ didn't tell you. So that's one of the items of Aqeedah could take a lot of Shia outside Islam. Because they insult Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Aisha, Zubair ibn Awwam, Talha ibn Abi. They only said only 6 people remained Muslims and the rest left Islam. So they put all the Sahaba in hellfire. So according to this item here, it's extremely dangerous because they're putting themselves as God to give decisions who goes to hellfire and who goes to paradise. And you can't make yourself God. Prophet Muhammad ﷺ witnessed for people to go to Jannah because he is told. And he in fact saw them when he went to Mi'raj. He saw the palace of Umar radiallahu anhu. He saw heard the walking of Bilal ibn Rabah in Jannah. He told many of the Sahaba, one of them, her son died. She said to the Prophet ﷺ, is he in hellfire? So I cried for him. Or is he in paradise? In Jannah. He said, Awahabulti innaha wallahi lajinan. Are you mad? It's gardens, it's multi-Jannah. So obviously, he gave her good news that her son is received by the angels, and they went to Jannah. Mu'az ibn Jabal, when he died, the Prophet ﷺ said, "Ihtazza lahu arshur Rahman," the throne of Allah shaken when Mu'az ibn Jabal died. When they went to the funeral, he was walking sallallahu alaihi wasallam on his toes because there's so many angels came to go behind the janazah that they were jamming. They were jamming, and the Prophet ﷺ was feeling them, and he was walking on his toes because so many of them around. He couldn't find like a space or to walk on the floor. So you go, the Prophet ﷺ said this. So what's the best? Throw away the sunnah, the hadith, so they get away what they say. Because they don't teach the hadith to their people. They don't accept the hadith. Why they pray 3 times a day? Because they take the hadith of Abdullah ibn Abbas. The Prophet joined the salah together for no reason. So because they take Abdullah ibn Abbas, and a lot of Sahaba, they had no, that's only in safar, in traveling, and if you are extremely difficult, there's a lot of snow or rain or whatever. So they take hadith of Ibn Abbas that it's halal to have a marriage of enjoyment, al-mut'a, zawaj al-mut'a. And although the Sahaba said to Abdullah ibn Abbas, Umar ibn Khattab and Ibn Abi Talib said to him, if you practice it, we will stone you. That zawaj al-mut'a is haram. They still practice it, zawaj al-mut'a, because they don't take the rest of the hadith. And when it comes to the Quran, say it's in the Quran, they scrapped the Quran and they invented something called Quran Fatima. They will never come clean and show it to us. Because obviously a Muslim would say straight away, you're not a Muslim, you follow this Quran, it's up to you. Whether Allah accept you or not, it's up to Allah Azza wa Jal. So there's many items could take many people who make claims out of Islam. Because when you put somebody in hellfire, you're putting yourself in the position of God, of Allah Azza wa Jal. And only Allah decides. He tells some of the messengers, but you are not messenger, you're not prophet. And the Prophet ﷺ said, La nabiyya ba'di, no prophet after me. And Allah said, Khatamun Nabiyyin in the Quran, the seal of the prophethood. So, but we hope that all people go to Jannah. And if you hope people go to Jannah, you will be kind to them. You will be caring. You will be keen to tell them to get to the right path. The problem we have from many Muslims, they cross most of the world. They all go to Jahannam. All these, all of against us, all of them are kuffar, all of them will go to hell, all of them this, and all of them we have to hate all of them. According to Aqeedah, you shouldn't. You should love them to go to Jannah. You should do and tell them that we are worried that you might go to hellfire if you carry on doing this. I don't want you to go to hell. I'm really keen to get you to paradise. So the attitude will change. If the attitude change, then people will like us. Do you really? Do you want me to go to Jannah? Are you really keen? Are you really serious? Do you mean it? Yeah, I mean it. I want everybody to go to Jannah. And say it to them. The attitude changed. So this is why a lot of Muslims fail Aqeedah, because they don't know Aqeedah. They don't know where they could go wrong and they could commit, a major sin. Any questions? Because the time is up. I want to finish the call. Session 40 minutes.
Yeah, you said if you attempt or if you make haram halal, then you will be classified as a kafir. So
Yeah.
does that apply to gays and homosexuals?